Over here is the facelifted Audi A3. Is it better than the BMW 1 Series and the Mercedes A-Class? Let's talk about it. Out of Audi, BMW and Mercedes, I always found the A3 to be the most desirable. And for this, we need to walk down a bit of history. Let's look at it. Mercedes was born from trucks and limousines. They grew from anything that had a big diesel engines, basically large vehicles. BMW had the opposite history. They started from small cars. They started with economy cars. And when the Audi brand got involved with the Volkswagen Group, they started with economy cars. So their history was very similar to BMW in this regard. I can already tell you, I just love the steering wheel. It's far better than the BMW M-Pack steering wheel and the Mercedes AMG steering wheel. That's good Audi. My first impression of the Audi A3 is that they've gone down the path of round edges. Now this doesn't come across as a surprise because I noticed this obsession with round edges also on the Volkswagen Passat and the Skoda Superb as well. So the biggest evidence would be right here at the front, the round edge design. This Audi A3 costs 55,000 euros. Is it good value for money or not? Let's talk about it right now. Now, being the top of the range, it is equipped with the S-Line package, which automatically means gorgeous alloys right here. Look at the alloys, 5 spokes, 4 doors, get keyless entry. I'll not get too excited. There are a couple of things to point out about this Audi A3, and they're not all pink roses. Now, despite this Audi A3 being a near top of the range, or probably the top of the range, why do I get so much plastic over here? Now, I assume this is the area where your license plates gets attached. Oh, and before I forget, you don't get a 360-degree parking camera, given that this is 55,000 euros. But you do get parking sensors at the front and at the rear. And you even get fake air vents on the side. BMW and Mercedes have arguably one of the best door sounds ever. But when it comes to Audi, it's always been hit or miss. Like, listen to the driver's doors sound. It just sounds very generic. It sounds very average. There was no metallic effect, which is funny because whenever I open the passenger side door, there's a metallic effect. See? On other cars, usually the bonnet does a better job hiding everything underneath. But with this Audi A3, it looks as if something's exposed. It's like I'm standing right here and I can see something through the lining. That's not very reassuring. This, for example, is an Audi A6, and if you look at it, they've done a brilliant job hiding everything that's going on underneath. Now it is time to check out the interior, the exciting part. Okay, so, moment of truth. Part of the facelift, the only big change really is the gear knob right here. So they've gone on the route of simplicity, which is good. But there's one very big thing I actually love. You get physical buttons right here, everyone, to control part of the infotainment system and also for your driving safety. That's great. Just one thing that makes me uncomfortable is they put the traction control button right here, right next to the hazard lights and everything. And it's right next to the driver select mode and everything. Come on. Why not put it at an isolated spot? There was a time when they used to put those buttons at isolated spot, especially traction control button. But then to be fair, okay, whatever. Start stop button, traditional for an Audi, they always put it right next to the gear area, which is good. Now, when it comes to the feel, first of all, I would like to talk about the electric seating adjustments. Both front seats are electrically adjustable. Excellent. Steering wheel, it's adjustable, which is good. You can move it up, down, in and out. Great. Gorgeous sporty seats with Alcantara and leather to constantly remind you that you just picked the S-Line. I'd like to point out something about this armrest right here. It's adjustable, just like traditionals of Skoda and Volkswagen as well. They like to have these adjustable armrests like this. It's great, wonderful. Although I'm not really a fan of it. I'd rather just have a simple central console storage space. As for central console storage space, it's a lot of aspects about this Audi A3 is like a C-segment car, so it's not going to be perfect compared to something like a Skoda Scala, perhaps. The central console is very shallow. I'm not even sure it's a central console at this point. But cup holders, or I was about to say bottle holders. It's good. And there's even those ambient lighting in there, which is great. I'm impressed. 12-volt socket sitting right here as if it was an afterthought next to this handbrake. Oh no, it's isolated. But then to be fair, if I recall correctly, Audi has been doing this all the time. They always put this 12-volt socket isolated from everything right next to the cup holders, which is bizarre because if you look over here, you get this huge lump of plastic that has only 2 charging ports right there, and that's all. That's all that's going on. A bit bizarre, but then, okay, something I have to get used to. You get a little charging pad right there for your phone. That's a plus. Now, the steering wheel. I have to cover the steering wheel. I have to say that the Volkswagen Group has arguably one of the best steering wheels ever. Better than BMW and Mercedes. It's not like a mountain bike tire. It is perfect. Perfect size, perfect feel, you know, the thickness and everything. Good. It is leather wrapped, but it's not squidgy. In fact, it's very firm. But then this is part of the Audi S-Line package, which is exactly what it's supposed to be like. The pallets are very small, but they are easy to use. You can reach them from this position. Then you even get a third stroke right here for your cruise control. I know Skoda obsesses over this. That's great. And now when it comes to practicality, you get an additional space right here. It's good. And the door bin, let's check out the door bin. Interesting door handle. It's very small, but it's good for my water bottle. It's good, decent. Now the window buttons are interesting. I like the detailing on them, they're good. And the leather wrapping is good over here, but then the door handle itself is hard plastic, but it's pleasant to hold on to nonetheless. And now onto the door you get ambient lighting as well, which are dotted. Excellent. I don't even see any glasses holder, and there's no panoramic sunroof or any sunroof. 55,000 euros. The mapping is great. It gives you a live information of traffic, so it's very good. It's very interesting to use, and I like the detailing. The green signifies where the roads are free. The red signifies where the traffic is intense. It gives you a 3D diagram of everything going on. Now, it should be noted that BMW and the Volkswagen Group have arguably one of the best infotainment systems. I really liked it. This infotainment system is very, very engaging. Just look at how many signs there are. Oh my goodness. Now it is time to check out the back seat of the Audi A3 Sportback. Okay, so first thing first, back of the driver's seat is hard plastic. That's the first thing I've just noticed. But then you get a nice net right here. I can just put my bottle right there. Although, there's a nice armrest right here dedicated to your cup holders. Here. Doesn't this look tidy? Looks great. Now, seating, everyone. My feet room is plentiful. My knee room is great. Just be aware that depending on the seating adjustment of the driver or the front passenger, your shin can make contact with the seats, but that shouldn't be a big issue. Headrest. Headrest is very squidgy. It's good. And I have enough headroom, but just be aware that this is a Sportback version, so headroom can, it can vary. That's all I can say. Door bin, everyone. The door bin is average for the C segment, although I did notice that the Scala has a door bin similar size like this. It's good. I mean, you know, I'm actually impressed. I like the sound of the rear door, by the way. Handle right here, coat hook, nothing missing. Little climate control, which is cute, so to decide where you want heating or cooling, and air vents right here. That's actually decent. Boot space of the Audi A3 Sportback. Now, because this is a Sportback version, there's an advantage and there's a disadvantage. The advantage you get is a prolonged boot space. You get more volume in terms of length, but the disadvantage you get is height volume. There seems to be limited height because the window portion does not open as part of the door. It behaves like a sedan in this. Now, if you look carefully at the boot lip, the hard plastic sticks out, which is good, and so does the body paint, which is bad. You just have to be careful not to scratch the body paint in long terms with your luggage. The boot floor is not adjustable, unfortunately, but it is still spacious enough, as much as you need it to be. And then also you get tether points on the side. You even get a 12-volt socket right there and additional storage space. You don't get any electric rear door, and it took me almost a minute to figure out that this is the handle you use to pull the rear door down. So here's my conclusion of the Audi A3 Sportback. For a price of 55,000 euros, this Audi A3 is very average because the price of 55,000 euros is very saturated in terms of market competition. You can get so many things with that budget. You can even get a spacious crossover SUV if you need practicality. But if you need city friendliness, you get the Škoda Superb, which is far more spacious and still economical, which makes us wonder, what is the purpose of this gorgeous Audi A3? I think I know just what the purpose is: to pick a fight with the Mercedes A-Class and the BMW 1 Series. Is Audi successful in this regard? Yes and no. Yes, I think Audi did tick a lot of boxes in many regards in terms of the way they've done the interior, especially. Very city friendly, I think they have a perfect steering wheel. One of the best steering wheels I've ever seen in the automotive industry. Same for Porsche and the rest of the Volkswagen group. And also the way they've designed the A3, they did a massive improvement with employing the round edge design for the facelift. Excellent. I'm very impressed with this Audi A3 in this regard. And one last thing I just want to point out is that the infotainment system was chocolate fondue. It was beautiful, just like BMW in general. But then it's not all pink roses. The biggest problem for the Audi A3, I would say, would be the equipment list. And this is something typical with the Volkswagen group. Despite the high price tag, there's always some minor detail missing. If you are an Audi fan who lives in the city, this is the car for you. It's as family friendly as it needs to be. It has enough family friendliness for a C-segment car, and that too, it's a sportback, so additional volume in the boot space. But if you are prioritizing value for money and you're very serious about it, this is not the car for you. But honestly, Audi is not alone in this regard. BMW and Mercedes have a similar problem. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time.